aerobatics. Fly-by-wire control system is absolutely crucial. It affords the pilot artificial stability, and it allows for extended it's there with number 1435 flight. The GR4 strike aircraft, which we saw for the last time ever at an airshow in RAF service. I got an airshow here last week. Upgraded to allow that to happen under what's known as Project Centurion, with a range of new systems and weaponry. Before World War II was over, so it served so long after World War II with various day and nighttime variants, and which flew, amongst other things, from here in RAF Duxford, because of course we had Duxford, in particular, the Second World War. Fighter base, of course, it had a long and illustrious history as a Royal Air Force fighter station before and after World War II, back up until 1961, when the last two squadrons, 64 Squadron on the Gloucester Javelin, 65 Squadron on the Hunter, moved out and the airfield was temporarily closed to flying. Well, the jet engine has, of course, played an enormous part in our history. It's revolutionised travel.
Trophy, previously won by the Red Arrows and awarded to the team this year, having led on takeoff by Jeff Milsom, former fighter pilot from Phantoms, now a captain with all the controllers on the Aeronautical A320. Followed by Jerry Mitchell, former football captain, and Jonathan Elvis, a man who's earned his title off for around 41 years, and back in the 1980s, he made the very first private flight to the USSR for 10 years. And in those years, he was into the reactors of the Charge the White Brigade. Only actors outside the White Brigade these days have buildings and vineyards and ways of moving the horseback or volunteers in tiger moths. The teams are gathered flying Hunters and Lightnings, now an oyster farmer, and he back in 1978 flew his Tiger Moth from Britain to Australia, solo. And finally on the rear, closest to us, is Dickie Abamoto, a former Tornado pilot, who will become one of the secret pair we'll see later. Now this FIC formation with the leader in front and the wingmen left and right either side, this was the standard attack formation known as a sector area attack that was employed by most air forces in the interwar years. The idea being that if a bomber was not defended by fighters, you could concentrate 24 machine guns onto the target and annihilate it the most easily. That's terrific formation. Look at them, they bounce up and down by the wind, but this holding station, wonderful piece of flying. Notice too the straight wings of the Moth Major at the back, as compared to the swept wings of the Tiger Moths. We have a Mark 1 Spitfire finishing the show today. Again, wonderful formation. Tricky wind conditions, again bouncing around, but superb flying. No wonder when they won that trophy. This is the same team that put together a 16 aircraft. Charging towards you now. Easy. Here we go. Viking. Now they'll turn and charge towards each other like a... Here they come. Now we'll cast your eyes up to the main pack. There we go. Challenge. As I say, an easy aircraft to fly, but easy to fly, very hard to fly well, and that is the challenge. So first coming in is Steve Bohill-Smith, former Concorde pilot, the man who now runs the simulator at Brooklands. Next, Jonathan Elvis, the man who flew to Moscow and reenacted the charge of the Light Brigade. Next down is going to be the team leader, Jeff Milson, the man who created all of this from scratch. Initially he had to go and scrabble around to get people willing to go and join him, but he has no problem with that now. It's actually a large number of pilots who would love to be part of the team. And the man who put together that 100 display we saw last September. Quite a feat. Next is David Sister, the man who flew to Australia single-handed. Former fighter pilot, flying Lightnings. Now an oyster farmer in Scotland. He's flown all the way down from Yorkshire in his aircraft. And then this lovely Moth Major, and this sort of, I like to think of rhubarb and custard colour scheme. Nigel Lemon, he took 20 years to rebuild that aircraft. Very rare aircraft, one of only 6 in the world.
over, they're going to be looking straight down, giving them their first view of you all looking back. Please do give them a big wave as they come over the top and see you for the first time. And here they go, ladies and gentlemen, the 2019 Chinook display. So pitching back down now, give the crew a wave before they make their 90-degree breakaway to our left. The Chinook size often hides its sheer ability and power. We hope you'll be impressed by the aircraft's performance by the end of the display. 2019 Chinook display captain is Squadron leader John Turner, known as JT. JT is an A2 instructor and officer commanding training flight of 18 Squadron. JT joined the RAF in 1993 and was posted to Odium to fly Chinooks in aircraft now being flown from crowd line from left to right. The nose is going to be pulled up by 45 degrees before recovering on the display later. JT is again scanning sideways here to pick up his lateral markers. The challenge for the crew here is to ascend onto crowd centre, while some days battling to 15-ton machine being pushed and pulled by the wind. Joining JT in the cockpit today is 2019 Flame co-pilot Lieutenant Andrew Jewett. I'm joining the RF in 2008 and subsequently you can hear that distinctive rotor noise getting louder and louder. This Waka Waka sound is synonymous with the Chinook, leads to our popular Twitter hashtag #BaitSlap. So the Chinook is going to break away shortly to perform a 60-degree offset wing over away from the crowd centre. The Chinook is actually operated under the Tri-Service Joint Helicopter Command. It remains in high demand due to its large cabin capable of carrying up to 40 fully equipped troops. We also carry vehicles, freight and palletised cargo and are able to hoist personnel to and from the aircraft, along with pilots in the cockpit and 2 weapon system operators or crewmen in the cabin. Flying this aircraft is a pure form of teamwork. Every mission embodies the crew spirit famous amongst others. Two-wheel taxi you're about to see is a unique skill and sees the pilot touch down before rapidly making control adjustments which hold the Chinook to up to 20 degrees nose up. This allows JT to run the aircraft straight down the runway until the rotor is in a fashion to decelerate before it eventually comes to stop, and to add to the party trick today, you will then allow it to accelerate backwards. It is at this point that JT does that, so I'd like to mention all of those at RF Odium, homes to 2,200 personnel of all trades, including air traffic, engineering, armourers, logistics, caterers and medical staff, among so many others. All of them are dedicated to supporting our global and national commitments. RF Odium and the Chinook Pods are all about teamwork. We remain ready to respond to national and global events at a moment's notice. Personnel and aircraft of permanent readiness 365 days a year. There we go, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. There's the crew coming to the hover one final time for you. And this is your chance to show them your appreciation and demonstrate to the aircraft. Please do give them a big wave before they haul up 15-ton machine backwards into an over-the-shoulder departure to run back out. to all of you for coming out to watch us.
And it won't surprise you that of the 400 of those that they made, only 3
Representation of the Miles Company, also on the bill as part of our flying programme this afternoon. There goes the Royal Air Force Tutor into the air. He'll be back with us fairly shortly. That's after the first dose of rotary wing airship.
On a remote Iraq and Afghanistan. It's also been involved in a number of exercises and operations worldwide. Switching between level and inverted flight, ski performs the flip-flop. For those of you that are older, there are 15 university air squadrons across the UK, all linked to nearby universities. As well as flying, there is a huge opportunity for personal development, embracing the Royal Air Force's core values of respect, integrity, service and excellence for sports and adventurous training around the world. University Air Squadron members are not committed to a military career after graduation. Once he sets up to perform a sequence of rolling manoeuvres he refers to as the washing machine. And exercises would not be possible without working closely with our NATO and UN partners around the globe. Today, the Royal Air Force is expanding, recruiting for over 50 rewarding and demanding careers, such as air traffic controllers, engineers, medics, and cyberspace specialists. The Royal Air Force has an exciting... Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the 2019 Royal Air Force Tutor Display.
And there's the tutor on the ground. Quite often, in fact, when you come to IW at Duxford on an ordinary weekday, you can see RAF tutors from various... engine of 600 horsepower in this Canadian heat example. One of the truly great training aeroplanes of all time, this. It has its roots in North American aviation, design and first flew. Later move on to. Just showing this the Portuguese Air Force. There's so many of these airplanes now reserved in condition in the UK. But now, we've gone to the Jet Provost T3. I've seen in the display today, but unfortunately aren't. But quite soon, they developed into something rather more. This was the result. Very strange looking aircraft indeed. It had an enormously tall, stalky undercarriage which made it look hugely ungainly on the ground. But it was a very nice aeroplane by all accounts to fly. The aircraft ejector seats, strengthened wings and increased its fuel capacity by adding the wingtip mounted fuel tanks. A very nice view of those on this pass. School at Prince Volumes in Yorkshire, and this very aeroplane was the Jet Provost display aircraft in 1992, which was the last year that I had seen the Jet Provost display. Very steep wing very nice display indeed by our piston and jet powered trainers. We had Rob Dean, our flying display coordinator, putting on that wonderful routine in the Harvard, and John Corley in the Jet Provost. that's the one we haven't seen here before, the new restoration. Number 2 in formation. It was flown by current RAF pilot Ollie Suckling, who's very enthusiastic indeed about classic jets. And there's the second, the team leader and founder, former RAF fighter pilot turned airline pilot and Strikemaster display team leader Mark. Here, making so much noise. But again, it's a 1960s aircraft. Flew extensively in Aden at the Far East, and then became armed with SS-11 missiles. The first. So you can say the language from the scope was very torque turns there, where it just applies the pedal at the top of the climb and goes round on the other side. The aircraft doesn't have a massive amount of power. Its sort of top speed is around 65 knots, so flying it is always going to be challenging. The pilot of the Boeing 37 today is Rich Billings, who's very chief test pilot, as well as an interior pilot. Coming from your is a fabulous aircraft to fly, so responsive, and you'll see that Paul giving us some demonstrations of which basically brings the aircraft around and facing the opposite direction in the quickest possible way. Holding there now a short turn, and then he'll fly through to it and he wouldn't be able to come through. Not only was the scout the first two to produce the gestation for the Skeeter in the 1940s, which it is a direct armed helicopter for the Royal Navy. The Scout holds an interesting distinction in the history of the Falcons War, because one of them being operated by the number 3 Commander Brigade Air Squadron of the Royal Marines was shot down near Goose Green by an Argentinian Air Force Cara twin turbo close support aircraft. It was the sole air-to-air kill that the Argentinians scored in the campaign.
Yes, and the aircraft itself was actively spelling over deep. Of his former regiment of the craft, you can probably guess, but it is a superb aircraft to fly, massively powerful, and as Ben mentioned, a fabulous bush aircraft. You can pretty much land and operate this aircraft from anywhere. Of course,
the aircraft are getting on a bit now, so we can't, you know, throw them around as much as we would. But as it comes past now, you see the Beaver, the quintessential communications aircraft. The Oscar behind it, its principal job was to observe from the guns. And during the war, pretty much it's like most of the enemy, basically also if they wouldn't like to put the guns. In fact, the Oscars were some of the earliest aircraft that were to war.
Storage 30 years ago this year.
I know, it's quite an amazing thing. He's addicted to the airplane, he loves it. And when you fly with him, he absolutely adores the airplane. And of course the Oscar is such a wonderful airplane as well.
Absolutely tremendous to see them back in country for the first time in a long time. That was the 2019 near the final bow. It's not on the aircraft. Right, Neil, thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you very much, Ray.
With a Star helicopter, particularly fully enjoying a great resurgence, and here we see two very fine examples returning to their spectacular flight line. Now we move to the Aeronautical of the present day for our next absolutely superb, immaculate restorations as well by UMass. This is a shape that will be no stranger to you at all. A rolling takeoff down the grass by the Augusta Western Apache. IM4 Apaches.
While the front seat conducts a battle damage assessment, he identifies further enemy personnel attempting to engage the aircraft. This time with a shoulder-launched surface-to-air missile. The threat call is communicated within the cockpit, instructing the pilot to conduct another rocket strike for an alternate attack heading. Ensuring all systems are configured correctly for another strike. Eliminated the crew can climb into a wheel, circling the target and the aircraft. Returning to ground centre, for a close-up look at what we like to call the bunt. As well as offensive actions, helicopters and fixed-wing aircraft will fly also provide reconnaissance, direction of artillery and water fire, and support ground units. skying up to 8 kilometres, detecting over 1,000 targets, prioritising them, and offering the pilots 16 simultaneous 560-degree rollover, demonstrating the awesome power of the two turbo-mecha engines mounted either side of the fuselage. Each engine provides over 2,300 shaft horsepower, meaning together they perform power and 4 Formula 1 racing cars. Demonstration of the Army Air Corps Apache helicopter. So on behalf of the whole team, Victor P3, Staff Sergeant Sterling and Gunship will now perform the customary bow to thank you for your support. So please do give a wave, put your hands together and show your appreciation for their efforts today. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2019 Attack Helicopter Display Team. Feel free to share your pictures of the day using hashtag AHDT. It's appreciated by the team and it will be available after they land at the Apache static display by the aerospace hangar. We wish you an enjoyable rest of your weekend, and as ever, we thank you for your ongoing support to the British Armed Forces.
Of all the Duxford-based, privately owned warbirds, here it is, rolling now, the consolidated PBY-5A Catalina. That was posing a serious threat to the livelihood of the supply convoys that were so crucial coming across the North Atlantic to keep Britain supplied with food and other essentials during the Second World War. Service Union Station, Northern Ireland in 1941, the first major success to connection with the hunt of the German battleship Bismarck that day to an ice squadron, effectively the shadow of the ship until naval vessels were back in the vicinity. With the wings out and fronts extended. Well, that was close to command's last simply with the German U-boat combined Catalina. It's got a 10 squadron aircraft. Down its prey northeast of Southbow in the Shetlands on the 7th of May 1945, just one day before the war in Europe ended. By that time, it wasn't just the RAF that was operating captive. PBYs for use on air sea rescue duties, it hadn't been possible to make them available. They managed to get hold of a few, they were called OA-10As, and this aircraft from plain sailing, now where it's undercarriage down, it's one of them.
Why, you ask, Barder's bus company? Well, Douglas Barder was a famed leader at Duxford. Barder's bus company on time. So what are the two charities? Well, Aerobatics is a UK charity based at Blackbush in Hampshire. And its aim is to remove the physical and financial barriers to enable those with wide range of disabilities to experience the magic of flight. So who was Douglas Barder? Well, Douglas was born in 1910, he was a Cockney by birth, and he joined the Royal Air Force in 1928. And in 1930 was posted to his first operational squadron, number 1 Fighter Squadron at RAF Wittering. But as he bailed out of the aircraft over in France.
Leading off perhaps Duxford's most beloved warbird, OMB-17G Flying Fortress, Sally B. Of course, the only B-17 still offering the American airmen who flew for Mustang here during World War II. Into occupied Europe. That hope was soon proved wrong, but nonetheless, their deeds were legion. The legendary status of the B-17 was of course established to no small degree by a B-17F of the 91st Bomb Group, stationed not far from here at Bassingbourn and named Memphis Belle. That aircraft was the first B-17 to be credited. The main tactic of the 8th Air Force was daylight raids into German industrial facilities and transport and resupply networks, the likes of railway marshalling yards and railway junctions. But initially, there was no escort fighter able to operate to the ranges that were required to take them all the way to their targets. On one raid on the 14th of October 1943, for example, to a ball bearing plant in Schweinfurt in Germany, no fewer than 77 B-17s were lost. Minimising exposure to flak. The B-17 was a good mount for formation flying, better to fly in formation at altitude indeed than was the B-24. And this pass with smoke on to simulate a damaged engine is always carried out in salute to the members of the Sally B Supporters Club. That's the organisation whose thousands of members... This was one of the famous shuttle missions where the aircraft would depart from their home base in the UK, they'd attack their targets and land somewhere else to refuel and rearm. And on Operation Frantic, the objectives were too far east for conventional missions to achieve and get home. So B-17s, having attacked those targets in Hungary and the eastern parts of Germany, landed at airfields in the Soviet Union, refueling, rearming, and then coming back to Britain. One of the many remarkable feats undertaken by B-17s, remembered by B-17G Flying Fortress Sally B, landing on in the hands today of Andrew Dixon and Peter Cope.
Sponsorship anybody might be able to give us.
Well, thank you very much indeed, John. As the P-47 and TF-51 take off, ladies and gentlemen, please show your appreciation for the debut display of Barnes Bus Company. Talking about the escort fighters that protected the B-17s, here are those two types, the P-47 and Thunderbolt. All over East Anglia that 8th Air Force fighter and bomber bases were located.
Absolutely, and I think the furthest west was actually in Kingston, which is, as it happens, just up the road from where I live. The Mustang, of course, the fighter that transferred the air war over Germany was sufficient fuel to get there and back. B-47 with
Yes, some of the early missions were presented by Spitfire. Self-protection was early for considerable lifestyle required who simply did not have the endurance
and the P-47.
fact that the 78th Fighter Group replaced its P-47s with P-51s in late 1944, early 1945, but also from the crucial role played by the Air Fighter Development Unit, RAF unit stationed here. At higher altitudes, such as were required for the sort of escort missions flown by the US Army Air Forces, all in quick time, was tested, and indeed it allowed the P-51 to achieve its full potential. Air Force and 9th Air Force pilots stationed in the UK being concerned about what they saw as the potential vulnerability of their Mustangs to enemy action so tough, so rugged, had been their P-47s. Very soon, the advantages of the Mustang soon won them over. Duxford-based 78th Fighter Group aircraft. They went to the US for new owners before coming back here with Anglia aircraft restorations last year. It's been put into the colours of a 9th Air Force P-47. It wasn't just the 8th that was stationed over here, the 9th was as well, particularly involved in ground support work during the latter half of World War II. Specifically, this aircraft represents one named Nellie B of the 492nd Fighter Squadron, flying the F-15E Strike Eagle, and we expect to see a special tribute to them to open tomorrow's flying programme here at the Duxford Air Festival. Following it in the TF-51D in the markings of the 78th Fighter Group mount named Contrary Mary, a P-51D flown from Duxford in the latter months of World War II by Major Roy B. Cavinis. And they were beautifully flown today, exquisitely flown one might say, by Richard Grace.
We're watching this display in the modern world. Wing walking goes back almost to the beginning of flight itself, when following the First World War, lots of pilots returning from war were able to buy aircraft very cheaply, and they would barnstorm, just rolling up in a field out in the country, taking local villagers for a flight in their aeroplanes,